Oh, it's going. So, what is the meaning of freedom? I don't know. No one else is talking. So.
My definition of freedom is the ability to do what makes yourself happy while obtaining everyone else's happiness. Agree or disagree?
Wonderfully put.
I agree with that because, in my opinion, being able to do what you want for freedom, those restraints, it's kind of like the same thing.
I'd agree with that. I said that I think freedom is important to have, so it kind of goes with what you said.
I agree with that because I put it it gives you the ability to do whatever you want without anything stopping.
Oh, sorry. Do you agree with what the writing on page 6 and 7, like the totally free? Do you agree with that, or do you disagree with that? Because you just wrote down that it's totally.
It's kind of between.
I use that on page 6 as my evidence. So I mean, like, it talks about how totally free isn't really a thing. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, it's not. You can't totally agree. So mine's the thing. You can do whatever you want that can make you happy while obtaining everyone else's rights. Mm-hmm. I agree with that because on page 7 it says like freedom implies a lack of restraint, but we're all better off if our freedoms are preserved and protected. Because if like the whole world just did whatever they wanted, cause chaos, and everyone would just be breaking laws and everything.
What do you think, Casey?
I agree with it, I guess.
You agree?
Sure.
Do you have any opinions on that, Kira?
I mean, I agree with that because without like the restraints, meaning like the rules and the laws we have, it would just be complete chaos.
Did anyone disagree?
Nope, I agreed with that. Freedom needs to be protected. It's not just something you can just let people go. You gotta protect other people's freedoms as well. So.
I agree with that because a lot of people, I think, take freedom for granted in America because in other worlds it is not just there. Like they have to fight for it. Mm-hmm. So in general, do you think that is the ability to do whatever you want, or the ability to make yourself happy? That's what I think. That it's the ability to make yourself happy. So like, if I want to go to college, I have the ability to go to college. If I don't want to work that job, I have the ability to quit. It's my freedom to do so.
Kind of both is what I had. I mean, having that freedom, like doing whatever you want, kind of links to happiness. So they go together, I think. Cole, what do you think?
I agree with what you said, just because you want to do something, you can if you don't. I mean, you might have to sometimes just to stay. If you want a job or something, move up, and you might have to do something you don't want to stay.
So going off of that, which statement do you guys think is more compelling, the preambles of the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence?
I said the Declaration of Independence, just because I think it overall, like the statement about unalienable rights and everybody's created equal, is a big thing in America today. So it affects everybody's lives.
For my evidence for that, I chose the Declaration of Independence too. I give some facts that are over there, like we only have 30% women in our government now, which is 3 times better than 100 years ago, or not 100 years, but when it we first had a women's rights movement. So that's what I consider to be all men are created equal.
My evidence in my essay was the women's right movement too.
I agree with that. The Declaration of Independence is most compelling for Americans, just because we all are equal, but at the same time, people use their opinions to make people not seem as equal as others. I guess, in my opinion, like some people might have different ideas of how they want to live their life, but other people might not believe in the same ideas. I guess.
Well, I remember I read your essay and you put the Constitution. Why do you think that?
No. Yes. It's just how the world works now. It's just the Constitution because it affects everyone's daily life.
Bailey, do you have any comment on this?
I picked the Declaration of Independence basically for the same reasons you guys did.
Did anybody else put the Constitution?
I picked the preamble to the Constitution. So yeah, basically. Probably because as it says that we need to be able to defend our rights and be able to take up arms and defend our country and what we hold dear most. So, I mean, I agreed with both of them really, but I just chose the Constitution for that reason.
Jason, I know you chose the Constitution. Why did you choose that one?
Because I said that the Declaration of Independence, it said that everyone is created equal, but the higher class they pay lower taxes than the lower class. So that's basically what I said.
I'd agree with that.
Yep. Feel like we're trying to get there, but it's not working very well.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different opinions and beliefs that people have. It's just
Yeah.
it's never going to be the same.
Which really links into both, so it's hard to choose one.
Yeah.
Jara, what'd you choose?
I chose the Declaration, but I kind of agree with both of them because they both hold power. But I feel like the Declaration holds more because it's got we hold these truths, but at the same time, it's the equality. Like you're supposed to be created equal, but in reality, are you really all equal?
I chose preamble because I agree with both. I chose preamble because when I read it, it reminded me of to not forget about all the work we did to get our freedom from the British years ago.
Anybody else? Okay, so the next one was what concept studied, read about, or discussed in this unit about writing freedom was most powerful to you and why?
Me personally, I think that the Gettysburg Address was the most powerful to me because I think it had the most meaning behind it, even though it was pretty short. Like Lincoln stated that it's still, like it told us that freedom is not a gift, and that the people who fought for it should be remembered better, and not just on holiday or one time of the year. And we should keep working for independence and not just think, oh, they fought for it, we don't need to do anything anymore. Like we should keep having our pride for freedom.
I agree with that, but I chose realizing all the rights when we read through the Bill of Rights just because it opens your eyes to what everybody's opinions were. So like the power writing that we did, seeing what everybody else said was pretty eye-opening. Casey, what did you choose?
I said that the paper that we had to write, choosing whatever one we want, was the most because you could state your opinion and it wasn't wrong.
That was a good way to explain your thoughts and how you feel about your opinions on America.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with Mary Megan's, but I put the most influential thing that we talked about was everyone's perceptions of freedom before we started talking
Bailey, would you choose?
I chose Gettysburg's address because of like the meaning of it, about like our freedom and stuff.
Well, what did you choose for you?
I chose to get a burger dress also because it was very few words, but there was a lot of information in those words that were said.
Do you agree with everything that Reagan and Bailey said then?
Jacob, what did you pick as your most
I put the Gettysburg Address because even though it was short and there's other ones that are way long, it still meant about the exact same meaning as the ones that took forever to get through. So I'd say about meaning.
Kira, what did you choose for
I did the Bill of Rights because even though it was long, it states like how like your rights, how they kind of define your freedom, I guess, to a limitation, and it just had more, I guess, meaning behind what your rights are.
Yeah, I agree with that. Jade, what did you have?
Well, one of the most influential things I thought of the unit was maybe the propaganda that we went over for a day. It was very impactful in history, just the whole time, really, because even back during the Romans, I mean, they used propaganda too, and it's a way to get your ideas out there and try to get people to support your cause. I mean, like World War II, we used a lot of propaganda then, and that influenced a lot of people to join the army, which one of the reasons why we won. So
I thought about that.
Yeah, I had sort of forgot about that. I agree though, that was a good one. Anybody else on that one?
Anything else that you would like to share?
sharing is caring, guys.
So then the last thing we have is your own question. Did anybody have one they wanted to share?
So, do you guys think is freedom as important to you today as it was back when the Declaration of Independence was getting signed and the Revolutionary War went on? Because I personally feel that society today has taken it for granted, and the rights that we have now are because of the soldiers that fought for us back in the Revolutionary War and the other wars. Like, I feel like we still feel the pride for them, but it's just not strong, maybe, because we just never really had to be in that same situation that they were in.
I agree with that.
I definitely agree with that. It's,
I would agree with that too.
Loaded question.
What are some ways that you see that in our society today?
I agree, but I feel like people today, they squish all of their stuff or their food down into one day and just celebrate on that one day. Every single other day, they just don't think about it at all. They think about what's going on in their life, and they don't wake up and think, oh, I'm free. I can leave the house. I can go to school. I can eat whatever I want.
I agree with that. I think a lot of people only celebrate it on one day and forget about it all the other days, but they have it, so
Like in other countries, people wake up not knowing like where their food's gonna come from, or if somebody's gonna break into their house or something. Like they don't know what's gonna happen. And here, it's just we know that there's a very low chance it's ever gonna happen. I feel that all the bad things that are happening in our society today are because of the abuse of freedom.
maybe not all of them, but I think some of them stem from it. I mean, we know that we have all of our rights and we can do whatever we want pretty much. So I think we take that for granted and a lot of problems stem from it. Jed, what do you think?
I think, yeah, we definitely take it for granted a lot, and sometimes we don't even notice if our rights are being infringed upon because we've had them all our lives, and like you guys said, we kind of just celebrate it one day and forget about it for the rest of the day. So we don't know. We know where our food's coming from, obviously, but a lot of the times we just think, oh, I'm getting that taken away from me. That's okay. I have all this other stuff over here. So piece by piece, we might have a tyrannical government later or sooner or later, but we won't know until it's already upon us.
Going off of what you said about like all the problems that happen, I think some of it is kind of like opinions, I guess, on your different freedoms, because you believe that you shouldn't have the right to like religions, I guess, like they don't believe that they should believe in that, so then they try to do something about it, and so it just kind of goes off, I guess. So all of the different perceptions of freedom affect how people act, how they do.
All right, I'm gonna close this first session. Very good. I love what happened here. Outside circle, what are some great things that the inside circle did?
Elaborate on what they said.
Yeah, elaborated on it, not just question, answer, move on. Yeah, good. What else?
They tried their best to include everyone.
Yeah, everybody did participate. Yeah, and it was a group effort to make sure that it was balanced in that way. Yeah, very good. What else? Yeah, bounced off one another's ideas. Yes, connected them. Good. What else? Okay, so what things can we work on? What things, well, inside circle. What about you? Did you feel that you were happy about happening during this first round?
Different ideas. I feel like that was good to share, like
Yeah.
all the different opinions.
Yeah, so you really did get to hear everyone's opinion, and everyone shared opposing opinions in a civil way and reflected on them. Good. What else?
Even when we had those different opinions, we like explained them and then had a way to agree.
Yes. Very good. All right. What are some things outside circle and inside circle that the outside circle, when they get inside, can keep in mind to do even better than you guys did? There's some area. What's that?
Elaborate on what you
Elaborate.
said.
Yeah. Dig deeper. Yeah.
Continue discussion. So,
Okay. And what do you mean by that?
Like, after a question, or after someone says something, respond quicker. Because there were some times for this group, there was like a long pause and someone had to speak up and then continue it without people willing.
So keeping the momentum going, the
Yes.
inertia. Yeah. Okay. One thing I want to ask the outside circle. Could you hear the inside circle?
Not really.
Okay, this
I
is
could.
my quietest group so far. Plus, it didn't help that we had recycling going on both slides where we heard.
I heard loud and clear.
Okay, you did, good.
I did.
Because I had trouble at times when I was working the room here. And then we had noise outside, so that didn't help us out. But make sure that your volume is good. Good. What else? Elaborate, keep the momentum.
They had, like, whenever they moved on about like 65 different.
Okay.
Much.
Yeah.
They all said what they believed, but they were there.
Okay, yeah, that's a huge skill that I would love to see you guys hone throughout the year. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so now we're going to quickly and quietly switch places. I'll give the roles for the new outside circles.
Jebediah? Oh, you're sitting right there. Did you call him? You're sitting there.
Oh, wow.
You're sitting there. That's your stuff.
you were sitting there.
Oh, I'm sitting here. Jacolin's sitting there.
No.
I was gonna sit there because I thought you were gonna sit here. So I was gonna sit there and then Jacolin was gonna sit there, but it didn't work.
I'm not there.
I know.
No, it's fine. My stuff's down.
I get tired of reading it too.
Drake.
I like it.
So I thought the question could be about anything.
Wait, what?
You know the question you had to create?
Oh yeah.
I thought it was just going to be about anything because I was here yesterday.
Oh,
So I changed it real quick at the very end.
what did you have originally?
My question was, is water wet?
You should have left it. That would have created for heated discussion.
No, this is
And
Miss Hartwig. So I thought the create your own question was about anything. Can it still be that? Because
In this unit, yeah.
Okay.
Or the-
because it was I had a different, and I realized it should be probably the same thing, so I
somewhat
changed it over there.
related to what we've been doing, but, yeah. That's okay.
Just roughly.
Roughly, okay.
I mean, Paul River did cross the
Okay.
river.
Casey,
Is water wet? Did they get wet?
if it's an emergency, after I give you your role. Okay, so,
What's my role?
Bailey, Kaysen, and Mackenzie, I'd like you all to be connector trackers, so you're recording who's using what connection statements.
Discussion.
See if it, continue doing that, but otherwise, just do it on a sheet of paper. You can kind of jot down what they're
I
saying.
love this.
Let's see. Jed, Jacob. I'd like you to be evidence trackers, so, saying who's using what evidence, and is it a quote, are they just generally referring to it? Okay, and,
Do we just-
Haley, Ray, and Kira are my commentators, so you're paraphrasing what's going on. Okay, so click on the back channel link, put in your name and your role. Alright, are we ready?
No.
No, they're not.
Do you want to lead this discussion, Colby?
Question. Was that evidence or connection tracker? Evidence. Was that evidence? No.
Is everyone ready?
All right. You make it.
So, meaning of freedom. What do you guys think it is? Des, what do you think the meaning of freedom is?
I think that the meaning of freedom is to maintain the rights of everyone around you while you pursue your own happiness. And aside from ethics and obviously laws, nothing can stop you from doing it.
Yeah, I kind of agree with. Yeah, I agree with that actually. I mean, you should be able to do whatever you want, but what you do should not affect anyone else, either physically or mentally or whatever, or get yourself in trouble.
That's what I think too. Like it says in the Declaration of Independence, everyone has unalienable rights, freedom of life, liberty, and happiness. So there's laws that control what you do, but there's a lot of things that you can do on your own, like unalienable rights that you can do. Ben?
Yeah, I agree with mostly what Spen said here. Like it said, what was that? The essay, totally free. How you're free to do what you want as long as it doesn't interfere with other people's rights.
What do you think, Carly?
Jackie, let's hear it.
I'm pretty much on the same page as you guys are. I mean, I do not believe that we can be totally free because at one point it will clash with what some other person might believe in. And yeah, do you think the same way, Caitlin, or do you disagree with me?
Well, what if it is, you have the right to make your own choices, but with limits?
Payne, where do you stand?
I agree with what everyone else has said, how basically you can do whatever you want so long as you're not interfering with anyone else's rights or putting someone else in harm's way.
Looks good.
I agree.
Anything else?
No.
All right.
So we're all in agreement.
Yeah. All right. Well, what's more compelling for Americans today, the preamble or the Declaration of Independence? Drake?
I would say the Declaration of Independence because it's that staple thing that everyone who thinks of America knows. It's everyone's created equally, that we are given the ability to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So
Yeah, I agree with that. It really gives Americans and people who immigrate like today, they look back on the Declaration of Independence. I guess like we don't, but some immigrants do, and they see that everyone is created equally, and that's how it's supposed to be here. Like that's what it's supposed to go by. Everyone has unalienable rights. So, Carly.
I agreed with most of them, like with both, but I am more for the Declaration of Independence, especially because like when you watch the news or anything like that, you'll see like a lot of talk about like inequality and stuff like that, and I especially think it's important when it starts talking about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Can you provide like a specific example that you've seen on the news that might relate to that?
Like just when you see like say like police officers and like stuff like that around there.
and when you think back to the civil rights movement of the 1950s and on, kind of, you hear a lot about that.
Yeah. Alexia, is there anything you want to add?
Both are important, but I went with the Declaration of Independence because we quote it today. Women are fighting for jobs that they get overpassed for because of what they don't have in between their legs. And gay people can't get married in certain states. Black people or African American are getting shot in the middle of the street for no reason at all by police officers.
So you're saying it's only black people that are being shot?
It's the majority. That's what we mainly hear of by police officers.
Don't you think some of it's also because of the news wants to report on just those certain type of people, and we may not see like other of like maybe a white man being shot?
Because if you think about it, sometimes
Yeah.
like they'll get more ratings if it's about a black person or an African American person being shot.
That's true.
And yes, women are notoriously being underpaid for certain jobs, and I personally don't think that's right. If they're being paid equally, if they're doing the same job, and they should be paid equally.
But the consensus for the percentage of women getting paid less than men takes on who their employer is, not the job specifically that they're doing. Like one guy could be like a war reporter. Like a man could be a war reporter, while a woman stays within city limits and is doing like smaller public things.
But technically, that is two different jobs.
That is exactly what I'm saying. But they're employed by the same person, so they don't. That's the only way that the populace does it.
Ben, what's your stand?
Well, kind of got off topic a little bit there, but going back to the original question, I think the preamble is more relevant to Americans today just because it acts like instructions almost on how to keep the country run. Like, you know.
I see what you're saying. I think though that the Declaration of Independence is more compelling because a lot of like good or like documents today, such as like the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and also like the Gettysburg Address that Abraham Lincoln wrote, they were kind of both based off of what the Declaration of Independence said about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
So everyone's really agreeing that both are important, but the Declaration of Independence has the upper hand for the most part.
Indubitably.
More or less.
All right. So what we've studied and discussed about for the past couple weeks in this class, what was most powerful to you guys? Like, Des, what do you think is most powerful?
It wasn't technically a concept, but Ben Franklin's letter to the Continental Congress about pushing out, I don't remember which document it was, but he didn't completely agree with it, but he decided that he didn't have to agree with 100% of it as long as it covered all of the main bases that everybody needs. And so they amended it.
I chose the Declaration of Independence. It showed me, and I'm sure the rest of you guys, how people can unite when they are all fighting for one cause, and how everyone should be treated equal, and how I guess the founding fathers at the time realized that you can't make a perfect country, but with these certain things and unalienable rights, you can make a great country and agree on a lot of stuff.
I think the Gettysburg Address was the most powerful thing to me, just because a 2-minute speech can be just as powerful as a 2-hour speech. It's pretty amazing.
I agree with that because up to this point, I thought maybe writing more about something could make it more powerful, but now I see that, less can be more in some way. So in some way, I learned that from the Gettysburg Address.
I personally thought the propaganda thing was the most powerful because it shows you what other people thought at their time. It shows a little bit of what one side is thinking about the other, and as someone from the other groups said, it helps with like the recruiting of soldiers and everything else.
So do you think propaganda has changed today?
Very much so. I think it's been pushed way more towards one side, and the facts have been strewed a lot.
All right. Kaylin, what do you think?
It was more powerful because Abraham Lincoln showed, like, you just need to use powerful words instead of having a long speech.
I agree with Caitlin because it also stated that our freedom wasn't a gift, and that we have to continue fighting. Alexia, do you agree, disagree?
I went with the Gettysburg Address because sacrifice is a lot, and no matter how hard you fight, there's always going to be sacrifice.
Carly, what do you think? So it's kind of split like 80-20, people with the Gettysburg Address and the Declaration of Independence. A lot of people think powerful words is more than a lot of words, and equality is worth a lot.
Kind of agree with that statement because you can if you can say what needs to be said in a matter of minutes, it doesn't really matter what you need, how long it should be, how long other people think it should be.
So your own personal questions. Des, what's yours?
I really didn't have any that I could think of right now. What about you, Peyton?
So do you think that those in power are mindful that the people are the source of their power?
No, I think people get too big-headed once they get up, and I would say start making more of an income. You see a lot of people with making 6, 7, 8 figures, just seeing people of the lower class not listening to what they say or anything of the sort. They think once they're big already, nothing can stop them.
Yeah, I think that the position in like the kind of like being up higher kind of like overshadows that they need to remember to like consult with the lower people, and they just do it. Not everyone, but like I feel like a lot of people do it just to get the, I don't know, like the eyes on them and just all the fame and stuff.
I think they notice it maybe to a certain extent, and then after that, they just kind of stop and go back, slink back into their party for the rest of their support to get elected, and then do whatever their party wants to in the end.
My question is, do you think people go too far with freedom of speech and the right to protest?
Yeah, I would say so, because there are some things that that shouldn't be said, like untruthful things, unlawful and hate speech that really should not be put out there in the media. And with the protests, they're blurring the lines between protesting and rioting. And you can see it in the local news when after a major court case is settled that when people aren't happy, they just go out and throw a riot.
I agree with Drake. I think that it's been pushed too far. That people are like destroying like statues and stuff, and they're turning more into a riot.
Because there is a very big difference between a peaceful protest and then a riot.
I see where everyone's coming from, but you can't like put laws on the speech, because then it just becomes you're basically taking away rights. Rioting obviously should be illegal, but protesting is fine. It's constitutional.
All right.
Within
reasoning.
Lexi, were you gonna add something?
I believe that it can get out of hand. But like it's one thing if it's peaceful and but instead of like ending that night, it goes on for like a week or so. But if it passes over into a riot, then it should probably be put to an end. I understand that we all have our rights to freedom of speech, but you're going over the line and putting other people in danger.
From what you're saying, or putting people in danger from what you say, or from what you're doing?
So
Finish up your thought.
if it goes into a riot and they break stuff and there's a passerby, like that passerby could get hurt. So
I agree with Alexia, like with the riots and stuff, like the people that were blocking the highways, like there was on the news that like an ambulance was in the traffic and a man was actually killed because they couldn't get through because of the protests.
Yeah, so then you're back to the idea that we started the conversation with on freedom. Your rights when they infringe on the safety of someone else. Yeah. Oh, very good, guys. We're gonna wrap it up there. You guys have done such a good job. Wait a minute. Okay. Oh, Jennifer, you get that from the 3 minutes. Okay, so outside circle. What did the inside circle do great?
Compliment me.
A final opinion, yeah. Wrapping up on a final conclusion does feel good, right? Versus kind of airing everything out there and letting it float. Yeah, coming to a conclusion is good. What else did they do well?
They had a smooth flowing conversation.
You kept it going. Very good.
There were many pauses,
As many?
yeah, they were a lot faster at responding.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. And silence is okay for a while. I mean, we don't have to like fill the silence, but when you're having a conversation when we know people have prepared things to say, to be able to step in with that is good. What else did they do? Well, they added, yep, again, we included everyone in the conversation, valuing everyone's opinions. Volume in this group was better than the first group. And we didn't have the extra noise in the background either. So it's a double plus for you. What other things? But they did well.
They
They explain themselves. Yep. Yep, explained and elaborated and used our connection statement. Guys, I'm very proud of you. We will be watching these on Tuesday, reflecting on your own participation and doing writing celebrations next week.
I think I did super.
Thanks.
Are we gonna leave now?
What